Hello and welcome back to another hot morning in Dubai. It's already 32 degrees centigrade and it's not even 10 o'clock yet. Apologies for the face mask, it's currently a legal requirement in public places in the UAE. As you've probably guessed from the title, you're joining me on a 25-minute tour of the Dubai Expo 2020 site. However, realistically, in 25 minutes I can only show you the highlights of such a vast exhibition. I spent 4 days on the Expo site and I don't think I even visited a quarter of what was available. Delayed by a year due to the global pandemic, Expo 2020 was finally opened by Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum, the ruler of Dubai, on the 31st of September 2021. The exhibition will run for 6 months and will close on the 31st of March 2022. The Expo site itself is quite a distance from Dubai city centre, and it is roughly 20 miles south of downtown Dubai. This photo gives you some perspective and you can see the Burj Khalifa Tower where I'm staying in the distance. The Expo is a world fair with about 192 countries participating and about a dozen multinational companies. You could call it Disneyland for business people. The site itself costs $8 billion to construct and is a temporary town in its own right. On an average day, there are about 100,000 people on the site, and at the time of this video, the site had already received 6 million visitors in total. Okay, enough background, let's start exploring. I recommend using the Dubai Metro to get to the Expo site, and from where I was staying in downtown Dubai, it took me about an hour's travelling. Expo has its own high volume, dedicated, super modern metro station. Opened in 2020. It's on the Dubai Metro Red Line, but you'll need to ensure that you are on an Expo train, or you'll need to change trains at the Jebel Ali metro station. Before we get underway properly, a quick overview from the map. So, for your reference, you are at the bottom of the map on the red square which represents the metro station. As I previously explained, think of this as a small town, and like a town it will have a central plaza or market square. For Expo this is Al Wasl Plaza, which is the domed structure in the centre of the map. There are then 5 districts. 3 major themed districts. In gold is the Opportunity District. In green is the Sustainability District, and in blue is the Mobility District. The 2 minor named districts are Al Forsan in red and Jubilee in purple. Each of the 3 themed districts has an anchor or a major pavilion or stadium. Although the site is traffic free, apart from electric passenger vehicles, there is a system of wide boulevards, a ring road and numerous side streets. The whole site covers about 5 square miles, and as I said before, it will take you about 1 hour to walk from one side to the other. A quick word about access and costs. Importantly, you need to remember that to get onto the Expo site, you must either have an internationally recognised COVID vaccine passport or a negative PCR test not older than 72 hours before the point of entry. You will go through airport level security to get on site, and the first thing they will check is your COVID status. You will also have a ticket and facial recognition scan. Tickets cost 20 GB pounds or $28 for an adult, but they're also off-peak and multi-trip discounts. Anyway, moving on. As you can see, we are now in Al Wasl Plaza, the centre point of the Expo site. Al Wasl is the heart of Expo 2020, both figuratively and literally. The covering dome, which is 130 metres wide by 70 metres high, serves as an event stadium, but it really comes to life after dark, so we'll be back after sunset. Al Wasl also functions as an open-air mosque, and the Islamic prayer call reminds you that you are still in the Middle East. From our Wasl Plaza, I'm now on the site ring road. Expect to cover some serious distance on foot each day if you want to see the site. I personally prefer walking, but there is a free bus service around the ring road if that's what you prefer. One of the bonuses of walking is you get to experience the Expo street life, such as the various artificial workers you'll find around the site.
Hello, I'm Telebar. On my way to deliver a delicious meal. Code is 12 to deliver Enjoy Expo 2020.
Located about 400 metres away from our Wasl Plaza, in the Jubilee district, is the massive art installation known as the Waterfall. Built by the same company that built the Bellagio Las Vegas fountain and the Dubai downtown fountain, the Waterfall is more of an artificial seashore than an actual waterfall. It has 130 computer-controlled pumps and goes through a water and music show every 20 minutes with a centrepiece generating water vapour and steam. The kids love it.
زيارتكم شلالات إكسبو 2020. نأمل أن تكونوا قد استمتعتم بالعرض ونطلب منكم توخي الحذر أثناء الخروج من هذه المنطقة. Thank you for visiting the Expo 2020 Waterfall picture. We hope you enjoyed the show. Please make your way carefully to the exit.
Each district has some form of outdoor space or park for people to eat their lunch or congregate. This is Al Forsan Park in the Al Forsan district. Having explored the street scene, it's now time to get into what Expo is really about, and that is the various national pavilions. There are 192 national pavilions on the site, giving each country an opportunity to advertise its culture, history, technology and trade opportunities in an apolitical manner. This presents me with a problem. If I made a 5-minute clip in each and every one of the 192 pavilions on the Expo site, this film would be 16 hours long. So instead I'm going to have to narrow that down and show you just 4 national pavilions, and those countries will be the UK, Saudi Arabia, Singapore and Russia. Being British, I thought I'd start with my own country's contribution to the Expo site, the UK Pavilion. Located in the Opportunity District, this pavilion cost a reported 17 million GB to build. Actually, externally, architecturally, the pavilion looks quite good, and its main selling point is the front-facing facade displays artificial intelligence generated poetry in a manner inspired by Dr. Stephen Hawking. In fact, the words just come across as nonsense. However, once inside, frankly, the pavilion is shit. Apart from a concrete Union Jack, you wouldn't be able to tell it's anything to do with the UK or Britain. The internals look like a job lot of MDF scrapped from a builder's yard. Nowhere does it promote the culture or trade or tourism of the UK. And there are no staff apart from a bored-looking UAE security guard, unlike other establishments that have PR girls and sales teams. This attitude is typical of the UK establishment, who are embarrassed to be British in case it offends somebody. Of course, the BBC loves this pavilion. I hate it, it's crap. If you think I was unkind to the UK Pavilion, then let me show you how a pavilion should be done at Expo. This is the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia Pavilion, and actually, my favourite pavilion. Under current political reform, Saudi Arabia is trying to emulate the success of the UAE and diversify into tourism. So this is a major project to encourage people to visit Saudi Arabia. Architecturally, the building is stunning. It's a cantilever design in steel and mirrored glass. To keep the kids amused while they're queuing up to get into the pavilion, there is a computer-controlled water feature. Apparently, if you stand in the centre, you'll be perfectly dry. From the entrance, an escalator takes you up to the main exhibition hall, through a diorama of historical Saudi architecture, complete with 3D projected graphics and surround sound. The main exhibition is a 360-degree video display of visuals from both modern and ancient Saudi Arabia. The display quality is retina resolution with depth effect, and you cannot tell it's not real. It is visually amazing. Also amazing is the full surround sound with bass that goes straight through you. Have a listen for yourself. As you exit the main display, you leave via this art installation, which is a huge 3D globe or star from another galaxy in a darkened room. The globe generates colours and fractal patterns interactively responding to the audience movement. Again, with the deep bass surround sound, it is both visually stunning and ethereal to look at. Taking a break from visiting National Pavilions, we're now going to do a quick tour of the anchor pavilion of the Sustainability District. Terra, the Sustainability Pavilion, is an educational establishment, but the futuristic building is self-sufficient in energy and water. The pavilion does exactly what it says in the tin and promotes sustainability. It is self-sufficient in electricity with 6,000 square foot of photoelectric cells generating 4 gigawatt hours of electricity per year. The funnel design is self-cooling and at night condenses water vapour to be stored to be used later. Surrounding the pavilion are 18 power trees that perform the same function but on a smaller scale, with recycled water diverted to watering crops and demonstration fields. The walkways through the demonstration crop fields provide an ideal opportunity to take your mask off and get a bit of a breather. Our next national pavilion is Singapore's pavilion, located in the Sustanabity district.
Hi sir, please check your hand. Temperature to the right side. Welcome. Ladies.
Unlike most other pavilions on the Expo 2020 site, which are all self-contained air-conditioned buildings, Singapore's pavilion is all open air, which is fairly unique. After a COVID body temperature check, which is the only one I ever had on the site, you enter a hall with a 360-degree video display, which, although good, can't compete with Saudi Arabia's effort. From there, you ascend a 4-storey walkway which simulates climbing through a rainforest tree canopy. The theme of the pavilion is biodiversity of plant species and illustrates the various drugs obtained through rare plants found in the rainforest. But call me cynical, this room reminded me of a Colombian cocaine factory. Even though you're outside, there are fans and water vapour blowers throughout the walkways to keep you cool. The ambient temperature when I filmed this was about 35 degrees, but as it was in the shade it wasn't that uncomfortable, although my GoPro did shut down due to the heat. On the top deck is a cafe where you can get a drink and a snack. Our last visit to a national pavilion is the Russian Federation Pavilion, located in the Mobility District. Architecturally, it's a very striking design externally, but when you get inside it's much more of a conventional building. On the ground floor is a reception area showcasing various historical Russian inventions and current cultural events, staffed by some very hot Russian PR girls. UK Pavilion, take note yet again. An escalator takes you up to the main exhibition hall of the Russian Pavilion, and there you'll find a large audiovisual presentation on neural networks and human thought, with some side displays which work interactively with the audience.
The creative mind allows people to create things that never existed. The emotional mind is responsible for our personal feelings and empathy. It gives us the power to accept other people and their experiences. The cultural mind teaches us that even staying true to their individual traditions, human cultures can reach mutual understanding.
Well, it's now late afternoon in the mobility district, and I've walked about 10 kilometres today, and I'm starting to feel it. My one recommendation if you visit Expo is to download the smartphone app. You will simply get lost without it. It also works out the most efficient route to take you to places you want to see. You've seen in my previous clips the various robots trundling around the Expo streets. Well, this is a piece of old-fashioned human-driven street art, an animatronic golden lion which trundles aimlessly around the site all day. As we are passing, I thought I'd show you the mobility pavilion. Unfortunately, as the sun is going down, there's no time for us to visit. As there's now sunset, just before the Maghrib prayer call, I'm heading back to the Wasl Plaza to get a decent seat before nightfall. Wasl Plaza really comes to life after nightfall. The Plaza Dome has a multi-million-dollar laser projection system, and the whole amphitheatre is fitted with constant surround sound. And there are continuous light and sound shows in the dome from nightfall until about 9 PM, unless there is a special event on. It is spectacular, and because of that, finding a seat is not easy, unless you get there early. So enjoy a quick taster of the nightly light and music show at Wasl. As much as I'd love to show you the whole music and light show from the Wasl Plaza, both time and copyright won't allow it. So at 8 PM, I think it's time to finish off our visit to Dubai Expo and head back to the metro station for my hour-long train ride back to downtown Dubai. I hope you've enjoyed our very brief trip to Expo 2020. You really could spend a month here and not see everything. Thanks for watching. Later.
Doors closing.